All right, so what we're talking about now, because we already covered the branding, we're on the A part, advertising, and specifically advertising on your budget. So just a little bit of understanding of where my understanding of advertising comes from. I have a long background in TV. I just like to tell people I started when I was age 5. My dad was a Zenith television dealer, so I helped him, I helped him, I'm sure it's great. Work on TVs and learn very quickly that there's ouchie voltages inside. You should keep your hands to yourself. At age 16, I got a job as a DJ, local station in Emporia, Kansas, and really got my love of broadcasting started at that point. I went to KU for a corporate radio and TV degree at the journalism school, and everything that I learned at KU, of course, is now completely irrelevant and completely out of date. I did spend the next 25 years not in the TV space because I couldn't find a job. It's kind of like the NBA. If you're not the very top player, you don't make a lot of money in TV. And so I was never able to find a job that I thought paid enough to make it worthwhile. So I spent a lot of time in doing project management for computer software companies. And what's really fascinating is that everything I learned at KU, irrelevant. Everything I learned in doing project management and working in software, completely relevant. So it was that prepared me to run a local TV station. Okay, so TV25, this is on all of our flyers. What's different about TV25? Well, like it said in the logo, we're the only station in the U.S. doing 12 channels, and those channels are very specifically tailored. So you have game shows, crime shows, 24-hour news, weather and sports, classic sitcoms, classic TV dramas, and even a network that's dedicated to cars 24 hours a day. So when advertisers start to ask questions about, well, tell me about your demographics, who's watching where? I said, well, let's skip that and let's go to the psychographic level, because that's what the real high-end advertisers want to know, is people that like cars. Well, boom, I've got a network 24/7 that they're heavy-duty into cars. The Ozark Shootout, which is a boat race, so people that are interested in boats. Boom, there's your content. So we do 12 premium channels in 2 DMAs. Nobody else is doing that either. So what does that mean for people that have businesses in Topeka and Lawrence, Kansas City, especially if you have those multi-site businesses? It's a great way to reach into 3 spaces without having to pay more. Okay? The way the TV has changed in the last few years has been dramatic. In addition to cord cutting, they're looking for a lot of that streaming content. So Hulu, Netflix, things like that. But there will always be this demand for something more local. And so as we try to push people towards cutting the cord, what they find is they get those local stations over the air for free, and they like the local news stations from the big guys, but then they're also looking for content that comes to them. Once you've programmed all through your Netflix playlist and their recommendations, at some point, by about the 3rd week of the month, you go, God, I have all these things on there, and none of them are interesting to me. So that's when we step in and show them things from the last 4 decades that are entertaining, either because they've never seen it or because they have seen it and it's familiar, like Match Game on Buzzr, very popular. Okay. So my motto, I've always said I'm never going to buy a billboard, but if I buy a billboard, my billboard is going to say, no car crashes, no Kardashians. So just like Nick said, you have to say no to certain things, right? This is what we are railing against. The current media thought and the media perspective is reality shows and stuff that's easy to produce, and so if it bleeds, it leads. Those kind of perspectives are the things that we don't want to do. So we say no to car crashes and Kardashians. We want good TV. Okay, there's a lot of good TV that's been out there for and hooking people up to that technology to be able to let them see all those older shows that are really have stood the test of time is what we love to do. When you work with TV25, I laughed when you said you're a small company, you had 17 employees. I have one employee, and it's me. So I'm a small company. You're a mid-sized multi-conglomerate compared to me. Part of the benefit to that is you get personalized service from a single person. Martha talked about how it's hard to get people to share your vision and passion. Even Nick talked a little bit about like that. Well, one person, I'm the guy. I love doing this. I love what we're doing for you. I love helping your business grow. I'm your service. I'm your trusted advisor. So, like I was talking to Nick, that was a great commercial. Very, very well representative of what they do. But I will tell you, that commercial is not going to make Nick's phone ring. Just from my experience, at least on our station. I don't know everything about everything, but I know what works on our station. And that ad, depends on what Nick wants, right? If Nick wants image and wants people to every once in a while say, hey, I saw your ad on TV, that's fine, right? But most people that come to me are small businesses. And they've probably never done TV before. And they start off with, okay, I want to get on TV and I want my phone to ring, 100 times a day. Okay, and then they bring an ad similar to Nick's, like an image type ad. It's like, okay, well that's a great image ad. That's not going to make your phone ring. So we have to decide what it is you want to do. So we know what will work for you on our station. Our technical expertise. So I would put my technical expertise and that of my business partner, Rob Nall, up against any of the big stations. Either they don't care enough or they have other reasons that they are not trying to expand their content. Of course, it's like if you are competing with yourself. If they add more content to their media plate, if they add more digital sub-channels, what does that mean? That means that's diluting their main channel, so they can't charge as much. So they have no interest really in doing it. So either it's a marketing play, or they don't want to spend the money on doing the new equipment, or they don't want to pay the people to figure out how to do it. I don't know what it is exactly, but I would put our tech expertise against any of the corporate stations in Topeka or Kansas City, and I've talked to a lot of them across the country. And so nobody else is doing as many channels as we are. Why is that important? Well, it's fun because we're tech geeks and we like doing it, but primarily it's so that we can be your companion. And I didn't really realize that until about a month ago. I got this voicemail from a guy. We get calls. If you want to get calls, run a TV station. We get calls, interesting calls. Number one, they didn't realize how many people don't have internet. Tons of people call me and don't have internet. It's crazy. But he said, I just want to thank you guys because you have brought the joy of television back to me. I'm an old retired guy. I don't have any money for cable and those kind of things. I don't have money to go out and do things. And TV has been a vast wasteland since the 60s. But there are these bright spots that are out there, and you guys have put all those bright spots together into one place. So and it just almost brought me to tears. He said, thank you for bringing the joy of television back to me. So that's why we're doing it. That's why we do all these different channels, because you will find something in our content that you will love, and that's what we want to happen. Then we want to deliver you to our advertisers, right? So we're greedy corporates. No, I'll give you a couple examples of what we like to do with ads. People even like the ads that we play because of the way we do them. I'll show you that in just a minute. Pricing. Why are you so inexpensive? You must not be as good if you're not charging as much money as 13 or 27 or Channel 9. Then it's obviously because you don't have the reach. Well, we reach 2.6 million people, which is the same that WIBW does. Now, I get calls, more calls I get calls from people that are in the downtown area using antennas like this, and they say, I have a problem with your station, okay? I can't get 13. What do you mean? So I can get 25 just fine. I get all your channels, but I can't get 13. That's not my station, and it doesn't sound like a problem to me, but we get those kind of calls. So we cover the areas of 2.6 million people, so you can get the word out there. The reason we're not as expensive is, as Chris said, as we have jumped on the pendulum, as it has swung back to the local side, We don't have to send 27 cents to a mid-level manager and 37 cents of every dollar to a CEO and all these different corporate people that we have to support. There's only 2 guys in my company, so we've got me and my business partner, Rob. So as long as we can get enough money to keep me in food, then I'm pretty happy. So our prices let you do all kinds of things you'd never, ever be able to do at a big station. So like I said, 2.6 million people. Everywhere in the green, you can get our signal with one of these, probably real close to your TV. Everywhere where it's yellow, you probably will have to stick this in the window. Why do you think I put this giant logo on both sides? Oh, I put this in the window and it works much better, and guess what? Now your neighbors know what channel you're watching, right? So that was the whole idea. Then when you get into the red spots, then you're probably going to have to go up and get either an antenna, a little bit more directional antenna in the attic, or even better, one outside. You might have to put a preamp. Total investment tops $100 one time, as opposed to your cable bill, which is God knows what, right? And we even get down into Fort Scott. We get people from Fort Scott call all the time. So in addition to covering rural, urban areas of Kansas City and Topeka and Lawrence, the rural people love us because they are really tired of paying $150 a month for Dish Network. And so a lot of those folks already had antennas because they never had cable. So we find rural spaces to be a great place for us. One of the best weekends I had, here's just how much of a tech geek I am. I grew up south of Emporia in a town called Hamilton, Kansas. And we don't